Phyrostook. The phyrostook is characterized by its gentle nature, bipedal carnivorous behavior. This relatively high attack value indicates that while the phyrostook is primarily gentle, it has the capacity to defend itself if threatened. A moderate defense score suggests that while it can withstand some attacks, it is not heavily armored or aggressive. This score implies that phyrostooks may engage in social behaviors with others of their kind or possibly with other species, reflecting a level of interaction that could be important for their survival and breeding. A high metabolism indicates that phyrostooks require a significant amount of energy, which is typical for larger creatures that are active hunters. As carnivores, they primarily consume fish, which aligns with their habitat near water bodies. Their immunity to ice suggests they are well adapted to cold environments, particularly in their home planet of Pengu. Phyrostooks inhabit the peaceful cliffs of Flimmel, a cold and frozen planet. Their behavior of occasionally descending to catch fish highlights their adaptation to a specific ecological niche where they can utilize both terrestrial and aquatic resources. The cliffs likely provide safety from predators and access to fishing spots. In terms of ecological impact within spore creatures, phyrostooks play a dual role as both predator and prey. Their presence contributes to the balance of the ecosystem by controlling fish populations, while also serving as potential food for larger predators in the game environment. Flabawaba. The flabawaba is a small carnivorous creature native to the icy planet of Flimmel in the game Spore Creatures. The flabawaba boasts a relatively high attack value, indicating it is designed to be a formidable predator. This suggests that players should approach these creatures with caution, particularly if they are unprepared for combat. While not as robust in defense as it is in attack, this value still allows it to withstand some level of aggression from other creatures or players. With a social score that is notably higher than both its defense and sight, the flabawaba likely engages in pack behavior. This means they may be more dangerous when encountered in groups, as they can coordinate attacks against intruders or prey. A high metabolism score suggests that flabawabas require a significant amount of energy to sustain their aggressive lifestyle. This could imply they need to hunt frequently to maintain their health and activity levels. The low sight score indicates that these creatures may rely more on other senses such as smell or hearing to detect prey or threats rather than vision alone. The absence of energy refresh or critical hit capabilities implies that their hunting and fighting strategies do not involve sudden bursts of energy or critical damage, making them more consistent but less unpredictable in combat. As pack hunters, flabawabas exhibit aggressive behaviors towards both prey and perceived threats. Their preference for secluded islands suggests they thrive in isolation yet come together when hunting, indicating a complex social structure. Their carnivorous diet aligns with their high attack attributes, reinforcing their role as predators within their ecosystem. The habitat of Flimmel, a cold, frozen planet, affects their physical traits and behaviors. Adaptations to cold environments often include higher metabolic rates to maintain body temperature, which aligns with their high metabolism score. Phirosaba. The phirosaba is a genetically engineered creature in Spore Creatures, showcasing an intriguing blend of traits derived from its parent species, the phyrostook and flabawaba. Understanding its stats can provide insight into how it functions within the game's ecosystem and how players might interact with it. This high attack value indicates that the phirosaba is a formidable opponent in battles. Players should be cautious when encountering it, especially if they are unprepared for combat. While not as high as its attack, this value suggests that it can withstand some damage, making it a balanced creature for offensive strategies. This statistic indicates that phirosabas are not only aggressive but also possess social behaviors that could influence their interactions with other creatures. They might form hierarchies or engage in social displays, which could impact gameplay dynamics. A high metabolism suggests that phirosabas require substantial energy to sustain their activities. This could affect their hunting patterns and dietary needs. With no energy refresh capability, the phirosaba may rely on consistent food sources to maintain its high activity levels. This relatively low sight score implies limited visual range or awareness, possibly necessitating close encounters for hunting or territorial disputes. As carnivores, Phirosabas will actively hunt other creatures, affecting local ecosystems by controlling prey populations. Their immunity to icy terrains allows them to thrive in cold environments like Flimmel in Pangu, providing them a competitive advantage over other creatures that might not adapt as well. The description of the Phirosaba indicates a creature with a strong territorial instinct which can shape player strategies when encountering them. Players may need to employ stealth or distraction tactics to navigate areas where Phirosabas are present or find ways to coexist without provoking aggression. Scribscrab. The scribscrab is an extinct species that showcases several key attributes that contribute to its survival in a challenging habitat. This moderate attack value indicates that while the scribscrab can defend itself, it may not be a primary aggressor in encounters. With a high defense score, the scribscrab is well equipped to withstand attacks from predators or rivals, suggesting a robust exoskeleton or natural armor. This score implies that the scribscrab likely engaged in some form of social interaction, possibly living in groups or exhibiting cooperative behaviors for hunting or protection. A relatively efficient metabolism allows the scribscrab to sustain itself in a harsh environment, likely utilizing available resources effectively. This lower sight value suggests that while it might not rely heavily on vision for navigation or hunting, it could have other sensory adaptations. As a carnivore, the scribscrab would have preyed on other creatures within its ecosystem. Its predatory behavior aligns with its physical adaptations, such as the pincer-like mouth used for capturing prey. The scribscrab exhibits terrain immunities to both thorns and deep water, indicating specialized adaptations that allow it to thrive in varied environments without significant risk of injury from natural hazards. The leaf flurry ability creates a damaging ring of energy that can affect multiple opponents, suggesting a strategic approach to combat where it could control space and deter attackers. The shield ability provides temporary invulnerability, allowing the scribscrab to maneuver offensively while being protected from harm. This dual capability enhances its survivability in confrontations. The scribscrab played a crucial role in its ecosystem by serving as both predator and prey. Its social behavior indicates potential group dynamics that may have facilitated cooperative hunting or defense against larger predators. However, factors leading to its extinction are not detailed in the provided data. They could include environmental changes on Flimmel, competition with other species, or shifts in available food sources. Bubblebew. The bubblebew is characterized as a gentle yet industrious herbivore native to Mukluk, a snowy region on the cold planet of Pangu. The bubblebew has a moderate attack score, indicating it can defend itself when necessary, but is not primarily aggressive. Its defense score suggests it can withstand some attacks, but it is not heavily armored. This relatively high social score implies that bubblebus are likely to engage positively with other creatures, possibly forming groups for mutual protection. A high metabolism indicates that they require a substantial amount of food, in this case bananas, to sustain their energy levels. The bubblebew's primary diet consists of bananas, reflecting its herbivorous nature. Their industriousness is shown through their ability to carry large rocks, which may play a role in their habitat manipulation or resource gathering. This ability creates a protective blue bubble around the bubblebew, rendering it impervious to attacks for a limited time while still allowing it to strike back. This feature emphasizes its defensive strategy over offensive capabilities, making it more of a survivor than a fighter. Living in Mukluk, characterized by cold and frozen landscapes, the bubblebew has adapted to survive in harsh conditions. Its industrious nature is essential for gathering food and protecting itself against threats like the globlods, which are known for stealing food. The bubblebew's ability to carry rocks may contribute to its environment by helping create paths or clear debris, fostering biodiversity in Mukluk. Its social behavior could also lead to cooperative strategies against predators or food competitors. Globlod. The globlod is depicted as a formidable creature in Spore creatures, with notable stats that indicate its potential for both offense and defense. This relatively high attack value suggests that the globlod can inflict significant damage on opponents, making it a dangerous adversary in confrontations. While not exceptionally high, this defense score indicates that it can withstand some attacks, allowing it to engage in battles while sustaining damage. A social score of 60 implies that globlods can engage with other creatures effectively, potentially influencing pack dynamics or territorial disputes. This high metabolism indicates that globlods require substantial energy intake, which aligns with their omnivorous diet. They likely consume a wide variety of food sources to sustain their energy levels. As omnivores, globlods are versatile in their food choices, allowing them to thrive in diverse environments by consuming both plant and animal matter. This unique ability adds a strategic layer to encounters. By using the stun biopower, the globlod can temporarily incapacitate opponents without completely immobilizing them. This allows for tactical advantages during battles or when escaping threats. Their immunity to deep water suggests they are well adapted to aquatic environments, allowing them to evade threats or find resources in such terrains without risk. The habitat description indicates that globlods thrive in cold, snowy regions like Mukluk on the planet Pengu. This environmental context is crucial for understanding their ecological niche and survival strategies. Salafend. The salafend stands out as a unique representation of an extinct species within the Spore creatures universe. Its design reflects a variety of adaptations suited for survival in a cold, harsh environment like Mukluk, which is described as snowy and frozen. The high attack value suggests that the salafend was likely a formidable creature capable of defending itself against predators or competing effectively for resources. This moderate defense rating indicates that while it was not invulnerable, it had some means of protecting itself from harm. This suggests that salafends may have exhibited social behaviors, possibly engaging in group dynamics or interactions with other creatures. A metabolism score of 0 could imply that this species did not require energy replenishment in a conventional sense, perhaps indicating a unique adaptation to its environment that allowed it to survive without traditional food sources. As a herbivore, the salafend would have relied on plant life available in its cold habitat, possibly consuming hardy vegetation adapted to low temperatures. A relatively low sight score suggests limited visual acuity, which may have influenced how the salafend navigated its environment and interacted with other species. This high value indicates an efficient mechanism for energy recovery, suggesting that even though its metabolism was low, it had effective ways to harness energy from its surroundings. The location of Mukluk as a snowy region signifies that the salafend was adapted to extreme cold, potentially developing features such as thick skin or insulation to withstand frigid temperatures. In terms of ecological implications, the extinction of species like the salafend can provide valuable lessons about biodiversity and ecosystem stability. The survival strategies employed by such creatures reflect their evolutionary paths shaped by environmental pressures. Understanding these dynamics can also inform conservation efforts in real-world ecosystems facing climate change and habitat loss. Spore. The spore is characterized as a dominant carnivorous species on the highland planet Basie. The creature has a balanced set of stats that suggest a well-adapted predator. With no natural predators, the spore plays a crucial role in the ecosystem of Basie. This high attack value indicates that the spore is a formidable predator capable of taking down prey efficiently. While not the strongest in defense, this value suggests that the spore can withstand some attacks, allowing it to engage in hunting without excessive risk. A high social score implies that spores may engage in cooperative hunting or social behaviors, which can enhance their survival and hunting success. This indicates a high energy requirement, suggesting that spores need to consume a significant amount of food to sustain their energy levels. A lower sight score may mean that spiriters rely more on other senses or social cues to locate prey rather than keen eyesight. These values suggest that spiriters do not have special abilities related to energy recovery or critical hits, focusing instead on their raw stats. As carnivores, spiriters are likely to hunt other creatures, which positions them as apex predators in their environment. This immunity allows them to navigate through thorny areas without taking damage, giving them an advantage in their habitat. Baysea, described as a highland planet, likely features rugged terrain that could influence the spiriters' hunting strategies and social structures. The absence of natural predators allows spiriters to thrive, potentially leading to overpopulation if not balanced by their prey's population dynamics. The social aspect of spiriters could lead to interesting dynamics in hunting strategies, possibly forming packs to take down larger prey or defend their territory. Archlart. The archlart is a fascinating herbivorous creature in Spore creatures, notable for its unique attributes and abilities. This indicates a moderate offensive capability, suggesting that while the archlart can defend itself, it is not primarily a fighter. A relatively low defense score implies vulnerability to predators, which aligns with its gentle nature. This high social score suggests that archlarts are likely to engage positively with other creatures, making them more communal. A high metabolism indicates that archlarts require a significant amount of energy, which is typical for herbivores that need to consume large quantities of plant matter. These scores suggest that the archlart lacks offensive capabilities and does not have special energy recovery or critical hit mechanics. The stun bio power is particularly interesting. It creates a visual effect of yellow stars that temporarily immobilizes opponents, allowing the archlart to escape or avoid confrontation. This ability highlights the creature's defensive strategy rather than an aggressive one. The archlart is found on Baysea, a highland planet. This setting may influence its physical adaptations, such as its arched torso, which helps it withstand attacks from predators. The description emphasizes the archlart's gentle nature, indicating that it is not aggressive and relies on its defensive capabilities and social interactions for survival. Crictor. The crictor is an intriguing herbivorous creature that showcases a unique blend of attributes, making it a fascinating subject within the Spore creature's universe. This relatively high attack value suggests that the crictor is capable of defending itself effectively against potential threats, despite being a herbivore. While not as high as its attack, this defense score indicates a reasonable ability to withstand attacks from predators. The social score reflects the crictor's ability to interact and possibly form groups or alliances, which is crucial for survival in a shared habitat. A high metabolism score implies that the crictor requires a significant amount of food, which aligns with its herbivorous diet. This lower sight score may suggest that the crictor relies more on other senses or social interactions rather than keen eyesight to navigate its environment. These scores indicate that the crictor does not have special energy recovery abilities or critical attack enhancements, which is typical for many herbivorous creatures in the game. The crictor inhabits Baysea, a highland planet, where it coexists with the archlart. The description highlights an interesting ecological dynamic, as both species rely on the same food source, yet manage to live peacefully. This coexistence could be attributed to their social behaviors and possibly the availability of resources in their environment, allowing them to thrive without direct competition. The crictor's design and attributes reflect a well-thought-out balance in gameplay mechanics, encouraging players to consider strategies for survival and interaction with other species. The peaceful coexistence with the archlart can serve as a lesson in ecological balance, showcasing how different species can adapt to share resources effectively. Buffalo. The buffalo is an intriguing herbivore within the Spore creature's universe, particularly noted for its unique adaptations to the highland environment of Baysea. While not primarily a predator, the buffalo's attack power suggests it can defend itself against threats, likely using its size and strength. This relatively high defense score indicates that the buffalo is well equipped to withstand attacks, possibly due to its furry limbs that provide both insulation and protection. The buffalo's social skills may play a crucial role in its survival, allowing it to interact with other creatures, potentially forming herds for protection and resource sharing. A high metabolism score suggests that the buffalo requires a significant amount of food to sustain its energy levels, which aligns with its herbivorous diet. This lower sight score indicates that the buffalo may rely more on other senses such as smell or hearing to navigate its environment. The buffalo possesses a heal biopower, which allows it to replenish health. This ability is particularly useful in gameplay, as it can sustain the creature during encounters with predators or environmental hazards. The buffalo is native to Basie, a highland planet characterized by rugged terrain and diverse flora. Its adaptations, such as strong limbs and a furry exterior, enable it to thrive in this challenging environment, where it forages for foliage. The buffalo's description highlights its clumsy yet agile nature, which is a fascinating juxtaposition. This creature's ability to navigate difficult terrains while searching for food illustrates its ecological niche as a herbivore that contributes to the plant life cycle by grazing and potentially aiding in seed dispersal. Prune bug. The prune bug, characterized by its large square teeth, is a herbivore found on Flubit, a planet marked by its harsh, lava-covered terrain. This relatively high attack value suggests that the prune bug can defend itself effectively against predators, making it a resilient species in its environment. While not the strongest in defense, it still possesses a decent capability to withstand attacks, which is crucial for survival in a hostile habitat. The high social score indicates that prune bugs likely engage in complex interactions with other creatures, possibly forming alliances or social hierarchies based on their color variations. This high metabolism rate suggests that prune bugs require a significant amount of energy, which aligns with their herbivorous diet, as they need to consume ample plant matter to sustain their energy levels. A lower sight score may imply that prune bugs rely more on other senses or social cues rather than visual stimuli to navigate their environment. These values indicate that the prune bug does not have special abilities related to energy recovery or critical hits, which may limit its effectiveness in certain gameplay scenarios. The prune bug's habitat on Flubit presents unique challenges due to the extreme conditions. Its tough hide likely serves as an adaptation to protect against the harsh environment and potential predators. The mention of color variations elevating their status within their nests suggests a social structure where appearance plays a significant role in hierarchy and mating. Lilepa. The Lilepa is a fascinating example of creature design in Spore creatures, showcasing a blend of unique abilities and environmental adaptation. This indicates a strong offensive capability, making the Lilepa a formidable opponent in battles. While not the most defensive creature, it has a decent level of protection. A high social score suggests that Lilepas may interact well with other creatures, possibly forming groups or alliances. This high value indicates that Lilepas require a significant amount of energy, likely due to their carnivorous diet. As carnivores, Lilepas are predators, which aligns with their high attack and metabolism stats. The flame jet biopower is particularly noteworthy. At level 3, it allows the Lilepa to unleash a continuous stream of fire targeting nearby opponents. This ability not only enhances its offensive capabilities, but also allows for mobility during combat, making it a versatile creature in battles. The Lilepa's habitat on Flubit, a lava-covered planet, plays a crucial role in its evolution. The description highlights how exposure to volcanic ash has led to the development of black feathers in the alpha individuals, providing both camouflage and possibly a form of protection against the harsh environment. The design of the Lilepa reflects a thoughtful integration of gameplay mechanics and environmental storytelling. The creature's attributes and abilities encourage players to engage in strategic combat, while also considering the ecological context of their environment. Perlipa. The Prolipa, with its unique attributes and abilities, exemplifies the diversity and strategic elements present in the game. This relatively high attack value indicates that Prolipa is capable of dealing significant damage to opponents, making it a formidable creature in combat scenarios. While not the strongest in defense, this value suggests that Prolipa can withstand some attacks, allowing it to engage in battles without being overly vulnerable. A high social score implies that Prolipa can effectively interact with other creatures, which may be beneficial for forming alliances or engaging in social gameplay elements. This high metabolism rate indicates that Prolipa requires a substantial amount of energy, which could influence its survival strategies and dietary needs. A lower sight score suggests that Prolipa may not be adept at spotting threats or prey from a distance, potentially requiring it to rely on other senses or social interactions for survival. These values indicate that Prolipa does not have special energy recovery abilities or critical hit capabilities, which may limit its effectiveness in prolonged battles. As a carnivore, Prolipa's diet will focus on hunting other creatures, aligning with its high attack capabilities. This ability is particularly noteworthy. The flame jet allows Prolipa to unleash a continuous stream of fire, locking onto nearby opponents. This not only provides a tactical advantage in combat, but also allows for mobility while attacking, making it a versatile option in battles. The lava-covered planet of Flubit suggests that Prolipa is adapted to a harsh environment, which may influence its behavior and interactions with other creatures. The characterization of Prolipa as a flightless bird that focuses on guarding its nest and grooming adds depth to its personality and behavior, hinting at a nurturing aspect that contrasts with its combat capabilities. Scrop. The scrop is an intriguing example of how species can adapt to extreme environments, particularly in the context of the fictional ecosystem of Flubit, a planet characterized by its volcanic landscape. This species showcases several key themes relevant to evolutionary biology and ecology, particularly in how organisms develop traits that enhance their survival in harsh conditions. These high values suggest that the scrop was well equipped to fend off predators while also being capable of engaging in aggressive interactions when necessary. This balance is crucial for survival in a competitive ecosystem. The Scrop's high social skill rating indicates a complex social structure, likely involving cooperative behaviors that could enhance their survival through group foraging or protection against threats. As an omnivore, the Scrop's ability to consume both plant and animal matter allowed it to thrive in an environment where food sources might be scarce or variable. This dietary flexibility is a significant advantage in ecosystems with limited resources. The Scrop's unique adaptation to navigate and survive in lava-covered terrain is particularly noteworthy. This trait not only highlights the species' resilience, but also its evolutionary specialization to exploit a niche that few other organisms could inhabit. The description of the Scrop basking in heat and foraging in rocky terrain paints a vivid picture of its lifestyle. Such behaviors are typical of species adapted to high-temperature environments, where thermoregulation and resource acquisition are critical for survival. Brugus. The Brugus is characterized as a tough-as-nails herbivore with a unique set of attributes that make it a notable creature within the game. This high attack value indicates that the Brugus can deal significant damage to opponents, making it a formidable presence in combat. While not the strongest in defense, it still possesses a decent level of resilience, allowing it to withstand some attacks. This high social score suggests that the Brugus may have advantages in interactions with other creatures, possibly influencing alliances or social dynamics in the game. A high metabolism score indicates that the Brugus can efficiently convert food into energy, which is crucial for survival and combat. This relatively low sight score may limit its ability to detect threats or resources from a distance. These scores suggest that the Brugus does not have special energy recovery abilities or critical hit potential, which could be a strategic consideration in gameplay. As a herbivore, the Brugus relies on plant-based resources, which may affect its interactions with other creatures and its habitat choices. The leaf flurry ability is particularly interesting. At level 3, it creates a damaging ring that can be strategically placed to control the battlefield. This ability allows the Brugus to remain mobile while dealing damage, making it a versatile fighter. Found in Zenkri, a snow-capped mountain, the Brugus's habitat may influence its behavior and interactions with other creatures, as environmental factors often play a significant role in gameplay dynamics. The Brugus's personality traits, such as being stingy and overreactive, add depth to its character. This behavior can affect player strategies, as players may need to consider the Brugus's tendencies when engaging with it or other creatures in the game. Star's Peck. The Star's Peck is an intriguing creature within the Spore creatures universe, notable for its unique star-shaped body and avian traits. This indicates a strong offensive capability, making the Star's Peck formidable in confrontations. While not the most defensive creature, it can withstand some attacks. A high social score suggests that Star's Pecks are likely to engage positively with other creatures, which may facilitate alliances or cooperative behaviors. This high value indicates a robust energy consumption and recovery rate, essential for survival in its environment. A lower sight score may imply that Star's Pecks rely more on other senses or social interactions than on visual cues. This suggests that the creature does not have a mechanism for quickly replenishing energy, which could impact its survival strategy. Indicates that the Star's Peck does not have a critical hit capability, which may limit its effectiveness in combat. As a herbivore, the Star's Peck primarily feeds on plant matter, which aligns with its role in the ecosystem as a consumer of vegetation. The heal ability allows the Star's Peck to restore some of its health, enhancing its survivability during encounters. Found in Zenkri, a snow-capped mountain, the Star's Peck's habitat suggests adaptations to cold environments, possibly influencing its behavior and physical characteristics. The description highlights the creature's playful nature and its foraging habits, indicating a level of intelligence and adaptability in gathering food from both the environment and other creatures' nests. Koth. The Koth are an intriguing species within the Spore creatures universe, characterized by their tall, herbivorous nature and unique abilities. This relatively high attack value suggests that Koth can defend themselves effectively against predators despite being herbivores. While not the strongest in defense, this value indicates a moderate ability to withstand attacks. A high social score implies that Koth are likely to engage in cooperative behaviors or form social bonds, which can be advantageous for survival in their environment. This high metabolism rate indicates that Koth require a significant amount of energy, likely due to their size and active lifestyle. A lower sight score may suggest that Koth rely more on other senses or social interactions rather than keen eyesight. These values indicate that Koth do not have special energy recovery abilities or critical attack enhancements. The Leaf Flurry ability is particularly interesting. At level 3, it creates a damaging ring that can be strategically used in combat. This ability allows Koth to maintain mobility while dealing damage, making them formidable opponents despite their herbivorous diet. The Koth inhabit Zenkri, a snow-capped mountain, which suggests they are adapted to cold, high-altitude environments. This habitat choice may influence their physical characteristics and behaviors, such as their social interactions and survival strategies. The backstory of the Koth being the first victims of Garskuther's infection adds depth to their narrative. Their resilience in holding out against this infection highlights their survival instincts and adaptability, making them a compelling species within the game. Scuther. The Scuther is a genetically engineered antagonist in Spore creatures, showcasing a blend of formidable attributes and unique abilities that make it a significant challenge for players. This high attack value indicates that the Scuther can deal substantial damage to opponents, making it a formidable foe in combat. While not the strongest in defense, it still possesses a decent capability to withstand attacks. This high social score suggests that the Scuther may have abilities or interactions that influence other creatures or the environment, potentially affecting gameplay dynamics. A high metabolism indicates that the Scuther requires a lot of energy, which could impact its sustainability in prolonged encounters. Being an omnivore allows the Scuther to adapt to various food sources, enhancing its survival in different environments. The biopower of the Scuther, specifically the stun, is particularly noteworthy. This ability creates a temporary barrier of stars that immobilizes opponents, allowing the Scuther to gain a tactical advantage. The fact that opponents can still move and defend adds a layer of strategy to encounters, as players must navigate around this ability while planning their attacks. The description of the Scuther as a product of Garscuther's research positions it as a significant threat within the game's universe. The narrative suggests that these creatures are not only powerful but also destructive, capable of ravaging planets and decimating local populations. This adds depth to the gameplay, as players are not just battling a creature, but also engaging with the broader implications of its existence. To defeat the Scuther, players must focus on overcoming Garscuther's creation through strategic gameplay. Understanding the Scuther's abilities and weaknesses is crucial. Players may need to employ tactics that exploit the creature's high attack and social capabilities while mitigating its biopower effects. The fate of the Scuther, as described, indicates that they are ultimately defeated by the restoration efforts of the Meepers, suggesting a theme of redemption and recovery within the game's narrative. This outcome reinforces the idea that even the most powerful creatures can be overcome through teamwork and strategy. Garscuther, known as the Infector, Garscuther serves as a pivotal antagonist within Spore creatures. His character design is notable for its combination of mechanical and biological elements, which not only enhances his intimidating appearance but also reflects his role in spreading infection among creatures in the game. This high attack value indicates that Garscuther is a formidable opponent capable of inflicting significant damage. While not the most defensive character, this value allows him to withstand some attacks before being defeated. This attribute suggests that Garscuther has an influence over other creatures, possibly allowing him to manipulate or control them. A high metabolism indicates he can sustain himself effectively, possibly reflecting his need to maintain energy for his abilities. This relatively low sight value may imply limitations in detecting opponents or environmental threats. Garscuther possesses several powerful biopowers that enhance his combat capabilities. This attack creates a damaging ring that hinders opponents who enter its radius, allowing Garscuther to maintain offensive pressure while repositioning himself. This biopower provides sustainability by restoring health, which is crucial for prolonged engagements. This ability allows Garscuther to unleash continuous fire damage on nearby opponents, showcasing both offensive prowess and area denial. By immobilizing opponents temporarily, this power disrupts their attacks and creates openings for Garscuther to strike. This defensive ability makes him invulnerable for a short period, forcing players to alter their strategies while he remains aggressive. To defeat Garscuther, players must employ strategic maneuvering and effective use of their own biopowers. Given his high attack capabilities and various offensive powers, players should focus on avoiding direct confrontation when he uses Flame Jet or Leaf Flurry by staying out of range, utilizing mobility to dodge attacks while seeking opportunities to counterattack during moments when he uses Heal or Shield, timing attacks carefully, especially after he expends his stun ability, which leaves him vulnerable for a brief period. Successfully defeating Garscuther leads to significant gameplay changes, including weakening all Scuthers in the galaxy and curing infected creatures, thereby reinforcing the narrative impact of overcoming this antagonist. Garscuther's design reflects broader themes within Spore creatures, such as the tension between technology and nature. His mechanical tank and biological tentacles symbolize this duality, illustrating how infection can corrupt natural life forms. Furthermore, defeating him not only restores balance, but also underscores the player's role as a hero combating corruption.